Namaste, beautiful. Welcome to your beginner crow lesson. So, before beginning, please ensure that you have done something to warm up, at least the wrists and the shoulders. So, I will connect here my arm balance, warm up. However, for the purpose of this, at least if the wrists and shoulders are warmed up, then you should be good. If you want to warm up other stuff, that's obviously going to be a little bit better, but wrists and shoulders are fine. So, if you have never done crow before, then it can be helpful to use something underneath the shoulders so that you are able to find the position. So if you don't yet have the strength in your arms to hold you or in your abs, then having something underneath the shoulders, but in such a way that you are in the correct body position, can be helpful. Other people might recommend having something under the head, and you can also do that. My concern with that is that we're actually looking forward in crow, and so I typically recommend, even when doing prep stuff, that it's something that is putting your body into what the final position will be so that your body can be memorizing that. Yeah, so you can be gaining this muscle memory, this teaching the body, right? You want to teach it how to do it correctly. So let's go ahead as if we don't need the something under the shoulders or a crash pad or something for now. Yeah, so I'll show you what it looks like and then we can kind of go back. So crow, this is our beginner crow. Yeah, so beginner crow, we're gonna have our hands are down. Yeah, and so what we want is we want to kind of have our fingers bent a little bit. We want to be able to put our weight forward into the fingers and also into these bottom knuckles here, this top part of the hand, and have therefore a little bit less on the bottom part of the hand to be healthier on the wrists. Yeah, because if we have all of our weight over here, it can be really difficult on the wrists, and we want to try to avoid that, especially because we're going to be quite far over the shoulders in order to be balancing from our feet being up and our head being up. Yeah. So beginner crow, we have our arms bent, we have our knees about where the elbows are. Yeah, so you can have the knees out at first. Eventually they're going to want to come in and up. Yeah, so we're working from out here, beginner, to up here with straight arms, crane. Yeah, all right. So just to have in mind, like, how the progression might go. All right, so have the hands about shoulders width distance apart. And the knees can be wide and then be right above the elbows for now. Yeah. And then just bend the arms and then lift the feet. And we want to be looking forward, right? And so what we want here is because our arms are bent, then that's bringing our shoulders forward, which is why it's easier, of course, than having our arms straight, because when our arms are straight, we have our shoulders forward. We really need to be leaning, and it's a lot scarier. Yeah. So when the arms are bent, you're automatically leaning forward. And so then you're using your abs, right? So you can concentrate on pulling the belly button up, right? So you want to kind of have a bit of a rounded spine and really be using the abs. You would be using the arms, using the abs, using the legs, kind of really using your whole body here. So let's go ahead and try it. Yeah. Hand, shoulders width distance, knees right above the elbows. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. And then when you can feel that most of the weight is forward and it's in your arms, then just lift the feet and then put your heels together, put your toes together, and look forward. Yeah, keep the eyes up and the head up. And so that's our beginner crow. So if we wanted to have something underneath the shoulders, then we would have it such that when we are moving forward, our shoulders come onto the blocks or whatever you might have. So you could buy a bunch of blocks. Most people, I don't think, have several blocks lying around at home. I certainly don't. So that's why I can't show you, because I would need to have probably about 6 of them, right? Because you want to have a few stacked up. And then you can test, you know, where your shoulders are compared to the blocks to figure out where they would need to be. And then it kind of feels nice when, okay, then you can kind of lean forward onto it. And but you want to be really still trying to be using your own body and not just falling into the blocks. That's kind of where it can get a little bit tricky. And I mean, do what you want, but also if you don't have something, if you don't have something to fall onto, then what are you doing? You're really concentrating on using your body. Yeah, and you're concentrating on how does my body balance, right? And yeah, okay, there's a little bit of fear. Like, oh, what if I fall on my face? Well, if you fall on your face, you are that far away from the ground, right? And probably you're gonna have a mat. And sometimes you fall. And that's okay to fall. So to me, honestly, I think that a part of arm balances can be, you know, allowing yourself to fall and learning that that's okay, because falling can be one of the best ways to remove the fear of falling, right? Because you're probably not going to do anything terrible when you fall, if you fall. And then it's not really a fear anymore. Yeah? So my recommendation is do it if you fall, do it until you fall, even. We're leaning forward, leaning forward, leaning forward. Oopsies, if I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do it on purpose. I kind of did, but slowly. Right? Yeah. So work on the fear of falling, because that's really a lot of what holds us back from so many things in our yoga practice and in life, right? And what we're doing when we practice yoga is we are practicing using the body to then translate into our life. So the more that we are addressing that fear, doing the thing that is scary when it's something low to the ground. We're not on a mountaintop, we're on the floor, right? And so if we can start there, then it translates into the life, and then, soon you can find yourself, working toward the job that you were scared to work towards, or going on the trip that maybe you were scared to go to, or whatever. Anyway, sorry, I always need to bring it into life, but it is part of life, so. Anyway, work on it, have fun, and let me know if you have any questions. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here with me, for allowing me to guide you. So much love. Namaste.